And now, The Bonfire with Big J. Okerson and Robert Kelly.
Hey, everybody, this is Marcus King, and you're listening to The Bonfire with Big J. Okerson and Robert Kelly.
You done where you call me my new nickname, my country name that I stole from your friend?
Which one was it?
What was it? Bobby Strings?
Bobby Strings, yeah. Hey, y'all, this is Marcus King. You're listening to The Bonfire with Big J. Okerson and Bobby Strings. Wildflowers, cheap red wine, an old scratchy record playing in the background of our life.
Year is here. I'm very excited. I'm a big fan. I've been a fan for, I don't know, I would say like 8 months now. I found you on Instagram. I started listening to you, and then I told Jay about you, and I was like, we should get him on, and Jay was like, yeah, absolutely, let's get him on.
Well, I always assume we can't.
Yeah.
We try, go try, I guess, but I don't think it's going to happen.
No,
Yeah, we really do come at it in a different way. But Jay's best friends with Marcus King,
Stop.
right?
Not best friends with Marcus King.
I think you're best friends with him, right?
I'm not. Bobby's busting my balls because I just did the jelly roll roast
Oh, nice.
at Nashville Zanies last week.
I love jellies.
Is he your best friend?
Oh, he's not my best friend, but he's a friend of mine. We've gotten to write some songs and just became
Everybody at
mutually
this
acquainted.
roast apparently was everyone's best friend except me. I was no one's best friend, but everyone was everybody else's best friend.
Yeah.
Jelly Roll's got 17 best friends.
Yeah,
Every one of them was there except me.
he's a well-loved man.
Absolutely, absolutely. It was a fun time. Bobby's just making fun of me.
I'm making fun of him because he went to a roast, didn't know it was a roast. They told him the day before it was a roast, and then he was like, "Are you sure it's a roast?" Then when he got there, he was like, "Maybe it's not a roast." And then it said, "The roast of Jelly Roll,"
Wow.
and they had merch that said "The roast of Jelly Roll."
It's about me, Bobby. Stop deflecting.
You're right. It's not about you, but it is funny. Everybody did great though on the roast. Nobody bombed. It was fantastic. You can't ask for a perfect roast.
I hope I get to see it. or
Yeah.
hear
Oh,
it.
you'll get to see it. You won't
They
see
did
Jay
film
in
it.
it.
They did film it.
Jay won't be in it. You won't be able to see it. For some reason, it's so funny. Every time he does these things, he's not in them.
Yeah.
His elbows in it, his hair.
Yeah.
I was definitely there, but you can't tell I was there so much. Are you based out of Nashville?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, I am based out of Nashville. I live like out of town. I live in Tennessee.
Are you into the? You seem to me like you're not in that Hollywood kind of hang around other famous people type of vibe, right?
Yeah, not so much. I hang out in the woods and talk to trees and shit. So,
There
Married?
you go.
Are you
am
married?
I allowed to say that on here?
You can say whatever. You can
Okay,
swear.
I'm
You can say
sorry.
whatever you want.
I was raised by wolves, so coyotes, so more like.
Now you it's funny because you're when I saw you on Instagram, your look was you're singing country, and you look you don't have the hat and the thing. You had this different, like, dare I say, nerdier look, right?
Yeah.
Where I was
What
like,
shit is that to say to somebody?
well,
That's all right.
I'm going to say it now because I found out that he is actually, you're a really intelligent guy. I mean, you were a biologist. You
Okay,
were.
hang on. I'm actually going to take it back. I just saw he's got the Star Trek thing there.
Here's
Okay,
where-
it's my apologies.
It's okay, Jay.
I'm
You
sorry.
know what? You're my best friend, so I accept your apology.
Thank you.
It is the science division too. So
Is that the-
Starfleet?
Yeah.
You know the logos of Starfleet?
No, it's bad. To some degree, yeah. I'm not that big of a Trekkie, but it was significant. It did mean something. But yeah, I'm a recovering microbiologist, and I was a scientist for a good bit of my life, and
Yeah, I was reading that like actual. You got a degree in microbiology.
yes, sir. And I worked mostly as a food scientist, but I did work as a micro for a while. But I worked for Mars, the food company, mostly in R&D for them, and that was a whole other life for me.
I was going to say, what a switch. That's very corporate.
Yes, it was.
Like situation too, like going into a big building every day and working like that.
Yep.
To being a guy who wants to talk to trees in the woods. Which
Yeah.
sounds like
Which is still what I was doing and wanted to do even when I was there.
So you were doing music, going on tour with your band, right? And then you come back on your off time and go get these jobs, kind of like I'll work for you for a couple months.
Yes, sir.
Until I go to tour again. So it was kind of almost like a.
I didn't even get part-time scientist work. That's
I know,
awesome.
that's literally what it was.
You guys looking for some seasonal scientists?
I was a seasonal scientist. You nailed it, and that's what I did. I played in indie bands, and then I would kind of moonlight in a lab for a couple months and go back to complete nerdery,
Right.
and then I would be a broke musician again. And
You have a passion for science, like still, yes?
oh yeah,
Because I was
And-
going to say, was the goal to always get away from that for music?
No, I mean, science was just something I was good at. It doesn't necessarily mean you're supposed to be doing it. And in my small town, like everybody worked on cars or farmed, and I was a bit of a weird kid, and I was good at science. And so they were like, you should do that. And so that's what I did. And science was, if anything, was a ticket out of my hometown, which is an incredible town, but I could have easily stayed there for the rest of my life if I didn't have that, or I could have easily come back, because Nashville as a music town, it really just beats you down and kind of sends you on back
Oh, we
to
know.
where you came from.
We know that.
So
we
that-
were there. We were there a couple of years ago. We did the Bonfire Live. Went to Kid Rock's bar and got beaten down and
Yeah.
came back quick.
It'll do that, and it does it to people all day long.
Yeah.
And with the science degree, I was able to kind of stay there because I worked as a scientist in Nashville, so I could at least stay music adjacent as a scientist.
Right.
So
How did you make?
Do you
that
study
switch?
Kid Rock? How did he find the perfect balance of rap and rock? It's right there.
that is. He is
Delicate
he's
balance.
what we call a conundrum. So I'll let him stay that.
Yeah, he likes small
mystery.
cigars. Just to let you know, if you ever offer him a
Small
cigar, yeah, he doesn't
cigars.
like big cigars. I offered
Fair
him a
enough.
cigar, and he was like, "No, I'm good."
Well, it
Too
turns out he
big.
likes any cigars except the ones Bobby tries to give him. We are regularly whiffing with these celebrities.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
We we don't have it. We don't. Whatever it is, we don't got it.
I
I
like to
promise
believe
you, I don't either. So.
I like to believe that you were almost to curing cancer, and then they gave you a record deal, and you're like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, I know. Think about what
getting
could have
dust.
been.
Yeah.
But,
He goes, if I would put that dropper in that thing right there, cure for cancer.
I was about to make the perfect Mars bar.
yeah, I
Oh,
know.
how about
walked
that for an
away.
album name? I was going to cure cancer, but instead, here's this album.
I hope you like
Album
it.
title.
Yeah.
I hope you like it. It's the reason your grandkids will die one day.
Just a little sick kid on the album cover.
I like it.
So
What was your favorite project you worked on in science? Was there anything you were like passionate about what you were doing, or was it just kind of jobs?
I created one of the products that I worked on was called Dentisticks Fresh, and it's still in the market. It's like a breath freshening dog chew. That is, that was one of my babies. Like I had a project from start to finish, and just to see it still in the market, still doing really well.
do you get a percentage of that
No,
because you
hell
invented
no.
it?
No,
Oh,
no, that's not how that works. But yeah, I got to formulate it and kind of launch it from scratch to the market.
So we can thank you for dogs having good breath.
Yeah, that's me. Dentisticks Fresh. Come on.
As you say it, it makes total sense that science is involved in so many things you wouldn't think science is involved in. But I went right to curing cancer. He goes, sometimes you just got to make a dog's breath smell better.
Hey,
There's science involved in all of these
the market
things.
spoke, and I was just.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: if they chew that and make their breath smell, their butts are going to smell good too. You did
Not
both
really.
ends. No,
Yeah, I don't
didn't
think it
work.
works.
Okay.
Well,
that way.
back to the laboratory.
Yeah.
It's been great
You
having
guys-
you here, Stephen, but you got to work on some
You got
shit.
some work to do, dude.
So you actually, what I found interesting is that you had this great career making money, and you gave up that career to go and do this. Well, how hard was that to do?
It was very hard. It's probably one of the hardest decisions I ever made.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had like
For fear reasons or like
yeah, because I was married. I had a stepson, and it was just this really. I couldn't stop writing songs even when I was in the labs and stuff. And I had this really incredible conversation with a coworker there, and he could tell that I didn't belong there. Like he was like, "You're supposed to be doing something else, but you're here, and I think it's good that you're here, and you're going to do really well here, but I don't think you're supposed to be here." And that's a weird thing to hear from somebody, and I could feel it, and honestly, that I had like this really nagging I call it a feeling you could hear. That would kind of, if I was to translate it, that's what it said. You're not supposed to be here. And as the years went by, it got louder and louder. And this gentleman that told me this, he said, I was kind of climbing the company ladder, and he said, they're about to put the golden handcuffs on you. And it was a really powerful, being a word nerd, I was like, oh, dude, you got me there. I had to really think about those golden handcuffs. And he was like, you're at a crossroads in your life. You know, I can see what you want to do, and I see what you're doing. And if you want to do that, you're going to have to make a decision soon, because your dream's about to die, if that's your dream. And
You went home and left your wife.
I did.
Jeez, that poor kid.
I know. Poor Henry.
It's easier to leave a child that's not yours. There's a song title.
Oh, wow. There's a lot of rhymes with yours. Floors, doors. You're right. I can see it already.
Horse. Horse.
That was an alley-oop. I'll let you dunk that one. But yeah, I mean, honestly, that feeling that I was telling you about, I could hear it kind of got louder by the day.
Yeah.
And what made me really get out of there after the golden handcuffs conversation, my biggest fear was showing up one day to work, as annoying as it was, and one day it was gone. That was my biggest fear, is like it had moved on. And that scared me more than leaving that job.
Well, thank God you did, man, because your music is, I mean, there's a lot of stuff on Instagram, but certain things hit you, and your music really, really affected me. I had to find you and get the album and listen to it all the time. So you're gonna sing a couple songs for us, right?
Yes, sir.
Why don't they ask
Thank you,
you,
Bobby.
do you creatively, are you involved in everything? Do you like to be part of all of it, or do you kind of let the machine around you do like music videos and stuff like that? Like when you're
No,
doing
I'm
any kind
very involved. I write all the treatments for them.
Really?
and
So you like being involved in all that?
Like everything, like all the little videos we do, like even from what I wear to the set to the what's in the background, everything's.
I mean, I gave you a
very
perfect
thought
setup
out.
right into the song, and then he asked the question. So,
But take it
No,
away,
it's
Stephen.
important.
yeah, go ahead, Steve. Do your thing.
No, hang on, Stephen, and go.
All right. Here we go, y'all. I'm gonna play a pretty sad song. Sorry. This is called "Grief Is Only Love."
Wow.
Wow, that
Thank you very much.
This makes me.
was good. Paco, next time he does a song like that, can you come stand between my legs so I can put my arms around your waist? It feels like I should be holding someone. I didn't know what to do with.
I was
It was
trying.
so emotional that I was just sitting there like, what do I do? I don't know what to do.
I was thinking of everybody who died in my life. I was like, don't cry in front of Jay. Don't cry in front of Jay.
Oh, you'll never live it down.
I'm
It's
not-
all right if you do,
Buddy.
I almost did.
That song is so.
Grief's only love, man.
Could you imagine
You've
if you?
lost a lot of people as you're an older gentleman.
I'm so glad you didn't stay at Mars. So glad you left.
Imagine
Oh,
just
thank
Could you imagine if that
just yapping
song?
that around in the bathroom.
You just hear
Wilson, out of the bathroom, back to work.
those dogs' breath stink.
Yeah. We need your science in the chocolate factory.
Enough of that. Get back to the dog cheese.
So how did you have? When did you write that song? How did you write that song?
I wrote it a couple of years ago. It was almost 2 years after my dad died. And I was sitting on a front porch of this guy's house named Jeffrey Steele. And he's an incredible songwriter. I've written a couple songs on the record with him. And he and I are both notoriously late for each other's rights. And we just kind of take turns being late. And one day he was like really late. And so I just was sitting on his porch because I couldn't get in the studio. And the chorus to that song just showed up right there on the porch. I literally got my guitar out and just started writing it. And Jeffrey had lost his 13-year-old son in an ATV accident. And he'd experienced grief on a level that it was unimaginable to me. He and his whole family did. And I talked a lot about grief with Jeffrey. Like, our songwriting sessions were almost like therapy sessions, because he was one of the few people I knew in that town that could really get real and really go there. And he was not afraid to go there. So when that song showed up, I think it showed up there for a reason, because it could have showed up in any room on any day. And Jeffrey walks in, and he's super happy. He's always got such a great spirit about him for what he's been through. It's very inspiring. And he's like, "How you doing?" I was like, "Hey man, this song just showed up. I know we can hug and talk, but I gotta play it for you. I don't know what this. I think we're supposed to write this today." And I played it for him, and he was just like, "Okay, that's what we're gonna do today."
Yeah.
And we just dug right into it, and we cried. And he told me things that were just incredibly personal. And I mean, that song, I felt like we were both.
Go on.
Get to it. Trust us. We're here for you, dude. We're your new friends.
You things you should never tell somebody else.
But yeah, we felt, I think, a few pounds lighter that day. Both of us did.
It really does hit you, because when I first heard it, it really did. My father passed away, my stepfather, and when he died, I never actually, I never felt it. I was just kind of faking it type thing. Yeah. And it's weird that songs like that song actually made me miss him and remember him and feel, like sad. And I remember I was tearing up in the car just thinking about my stepdad that I never could do at the funeral and, after all that stuff. So it's a fucking powerful song, man. And it's crazy to me what.
It's emotional well you're going down to.
Yeah, dude.
Wasn't expecting it.
I'm sorry.
You're in a safe place.
I'm in a safe place.
This happens at all my shows. So
I just lost 3 Pivens because of that.
This is no safe space for you. You've written songs for people, right? Completely.
Yeah, that's what I started off as I was a staff writer. When I quit my job as a scientist, I really just wanted to write songs for other people. I never sang a song for even when I quit that job, I had never sang a song for anybody. I was a guitar player and a writer, composer. I'd never had sang on a mic as a singer. And when I quit that job, like I had to start doing that. Just so I could sell my songs, because I couldn't just get somebody to sing them for me every time I wrote one. And
is it less rewarding? Is it like not that rewarding when you like write for somebody? Like, because if you put your emotion into the songwriting and someone else is doing it, there's got to be some element of you going like, it's not exactly how I pictured it.
Yeah, that happens, but also it's so flattering for someone to take this idea that showed up for you one day. And they're taking it around to their fans and their whole world, because that's a whole different world than my world. Like, they have fans that I'll never reach, and I have fans that they'll never reach.
Sure.
So there's a really, I love that aspect of the freedom, the wings of a song. It sounds really cheesy, but that's kind of what it is. But, when I started doing this, my dad had died, and I never thought of myself as an artist ever. And my dad, I'd play him like my demos and stuff, and he'd be like, "Why don't you just sing these, dude? You sound fine." And I'd always argue with him, like, "No, somebody else sings them. I just write them." That's what I quit my job to do, is to write songs. I didn't quit my job to sing songs.
Did you have to play with the pitch and tone of your voice, like your singing voice, to kind of choose how you were going to go? Just the octave that you'll sing in?
Yeah,
that's got to be if you start too high, you might not be able to do the songs.
Well, that was honestly a challenge for me with getting cuts, because I could sing low and high. So that's the songs I would write. I'd write songs with a low verse and then a high as hell chorus, and it would scare off a lot of singers that either couldn't sing low or couldn't sing high, and it really made it challenging to get cuts. But in that process, I was kind of parallel path developing a sound that I didn't know I was developing.
Yeah, you have a unique sound, man. Your voice, I haven't heard anybody who sings like you, sounds like you. That's what really.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's amazing. Now your guitars too.
You're very unique.
But your other guitar too, like you have, it looks like it's that one. Are these how old are these guitars? Are these your guitars for years? You know you have money. You can,
I think they're brand
me
new.
And Jake
they're brand new, and you got them at Abercrombie.
Yeah, you got them
made look distressed.
Yeah.
You bought distressed guitars.
Yeah, well, this one's a 78.
Oh wow!
Does it make a difference?
I think it does. Like, these are 70s era Takaminis. which
Oh,
is a
Era
very-
Takamini's.
No, Era.
Yeah, no. Oh, Era.
Era,
I thought,
like
I thought the other ones.
So these are like that's a 75 and this is a 78.
Right.
And really, I didn't really look for this particular guitar. I bought this on Craigslist for $400 in a parking lot in Nashville.
No shit.
And then after I bought it, I went looking.
Look, you didn't
for,
get gay raped in that
I know.
story.
It was some other time. One can only hope.
still
There's
time.
always tomorrow.
You're still on the rise, dog.
But yeah, this one's named 1, and that one's named 2. And,
So uno,
yeah.
dos.
Yeah, uno, dos. A lot of people think its name is Juan.
That's what I think you're Juan.
What is the stuff on it? You get little drawings on it.
Actually, they're holes, so I cover them up with masking tape because I play with these damn picks, these really thick
Heavy,
bass
yeah.
picks, and there's like sawdust on the stage every night. There's sawdust everywhere. Like I just leave pieces of this guitar everywhere I go.
Right.
And it just eventually there's like holes in both of these, and I patch them up and then put little drawings on them so it doesn't look so terrible.
If you restored those, would it change like the pitch of the guitar? You think? That's
I think so,
Yeah.
and I don't want to really do that. They've just been good to me, and I don't. But at the same time, I'm not really a guitar collector. I'm a guitar player, and if I destroy these guitars doing what they're meant to be done or meant to be doing on Earth, then that's
Yeah.
What if those
That's
guitars
fair
were
enough.
why he can sing?
I
The magical
They're
Mexican
cursed.
guitars.
yeah,
got this from a crazy gypsy lady one time.
yeah.
I don't know. She said, "Take it, and your dreams will come true."
Yeah, I was a scientist. Then I could sing.
kind of was.
Shut up and cure cancer or make dark chocolate.
I do get you bring up a point. Once I grabbed this guitar, it was like a sword in the stone kind of thing a little bit.
Really? It'd be
It
great if
did.
Jay just picked it up and you sounded
It's just
insane.
like, here you go. You're like,
I'm
you
like,
become
oh,
Guy Clark. And
Yeah, I'm up on the neck because I never even touched this thing before. Is this a G sharp? Is that even a thing?
yeah.
All right, okay. We got 10 minutes left. Can we hear another song?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
We got 2 more, so I'm gonna have to do them back to back.
Yeah, do them back to back.
You want you back to back?
I don't, if you can.
All right, I'll try my best.
This next song I love too.
This was a result of a really terrible first kiss.
If I had to give any critique, I would say you left out OJ was framed. But listen, that was your 1994, I guess.
To each his
That
own.
was fantastic. God
I
damn,
mean,
so
what a-
talented.
What I mean, it sounds like there's
Your
a
voice is
huge
unbelievable,
band
too, yeah.
around. He makes that guitar sound like there's a whole band. It's crazy what you can do with that
Oh,
guitar.
thank you. I'm a little raspy. Boston kicked my ass last
Yeah.
night. They were so rowdy, I couldn't sing over them.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
I
though.
blew my voice out a little bit last night. So
You sound awesome, man.
well, thank you.
How new is like you feel like the audience like yelling back, like singing back your words to you? I mean, that's the rock star dream right there. Is they all know your words.
It's very new and it's mind blowing to be
Yeah.
honest for like a weird little quiet kid.
How long's it
just-
been since you've been home in the woods and doing those things?
Pretty much a year since
Wow.
since I went on tour. Really, I've been home a couple weeks this year.
You miss it?
I do,
Yeah.
but this is more important. We have work to do.
Yeah, you
and
do.
The trees ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
At least not anytime soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a lot to adjust to because a lot of this I'm not supposed to be here. Like none of this was really supposed to happen. I'm kind of living within an anomaly, which is fun. So
But
I
it's
can make
supposed to happen.
mistakes. Yeah. Well, I mean, it takes a lot of the pressure off me because like I didn't really set all. When you set up like a whole thing. And,
Yeah, when you try to get like a special on a certain network and you're like, this is definitely going to happen. And everybody's like, this is going to happen.
Yeah.
And then they say no.
Yeah.
It's like, shit.
Yeah. I've had my music business version of that many times. I don't.
See?
That sounds terrible.
Okay.
Get
I'm
off
sorry.
me, Bobby.
But I feel it.
You're supposed to be here, Jay. This is your.
I'm supposed to be doing science, I think.
This is science.
Are they looking for anybody at that job?
Yeah. I'll ask them if they're
Be a Mars
hiring.
candy bar. I'm
Send me
gonna be like Lucille Ball, just grabbing chocolate.
Yeah, you never know.
God, man, your songs are so amazing, bro. You sound
Thank you,
so
buddy.
great, man.
Do we have time for one more? I'd love to hear.
Do we have
one
time
more.
for one more?
I could try.
All right, we got time for one
I could
more.
try to knock one out real
Yeah.
quick.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
Tuning is caring. I tune a lot. My wife calls me Toonie Soprano.
That was a good one. I like
I
that.
like I prefer Antonio Banderas because it's a Desperado movie. I'll never get over it, man.
We're going to hear you
And
do that.
shooting guitar cases.
Salma Hayek.
I like it. Still good.
Still good, but not Desperado. And that's what this next song's about. I still would, but you're not Desperado.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, man. Thanks for being here.
It's an honor to be here.
Oh,
y'all.
buddy.
Thanks for putting up with me.
Absolutely.
No, not at all, man. You're amazing.
Back on the house, back on the land. Boss on the truck and the hammer. Sun goes up, sun goes down. We all wind up 6 feet in the ground. Sun goes up, sun goes down. We all wind up 6 feet in the ground. Oh yeah, oh yeah. One more thing on the things I can't control. One more thing. One more thing along the things I can't control.
Stephen Wilson Jr.
I mean, come on.
The debut double album, Son of Dad, is out now via Big Loud Records. Make sure you check it out. I mean, so talented. Fuck outlaw country.
I mean,
Microbiology country.
this
That's what
is
it is.
it.
Science
My man.
country.
Science
Science
country.
country. I like
Science country.
Baddest, man. Thanks for coming in, man.
Nah,
Get
so
his
much.
album.
So
Go
great
see
to
him
meet you.
live.
Please come back soon.
Thank you, Robbie.
Come back in anytime, man.
Take care, my man.